Bandai just released the new Gundam Card Game, and with it, starter decks 1 through 4. I have with me starter decks 1 and 2, because they're the main ones I care about. Let's get right into the opening. Obviously, with it being the Gundam TCG coming out, and I don't have a Gundam specific playmat yet, but I do have the Gurren Lagann. Feels like it's only fitting to use the Gurren Lagann from one amazing and fun mech show to another. Before we get into the opening itself, I was just at the starter deck event, and in that event, they gave you 2 promos, bunch of sleeves, as well as the uh, Strike Gundam and Kira alt promos. So let's look at those real quick. Here we have the Strike Gundam. That's a draw 1, discard 1 on deploy. Pretty good. Links with Kira Yamato. And speaking of, here is Kira Yamato himself, which is an enemy unit on attack. It gets -2 AP, so you can swing over things favorably while doing so. Uh, pretty nice promos, really nice arts. I do like the style of these alt arts. They're foiled, which is an added bonus, and also pretty good for the Seed/Destiny deck. And then also we have these resource sleeves. They're a pack of 10 sleeves. They've got the Ale Strike regular art on them and the Gundam Card Game. Yeah, so the starter deck event was pretty fun. I wasn't super in love with the starter deck event just because you only get 2 of your LRs, you only get 2 of your boss monsters, and you get so few links and so many mismatches with different pilots and that can't link with most things. Uh, as you'll see when I go into my deck list, I like having my pilots link with a significant amount of my deck. At minimum, in my opinion, a pilot, especially a burst pilot, should be able to link with uh, 6, if not more, at a minimum. Ideally, on the higher side of that, unless you're doing something super specific. Like in my opinion, with the Wing Gundam, Hero is so powerful with the Wing Gundam uh, that it's okay to run maybe slightly less links there. But yeah, I think like 8 links would be really good if it's a pilot only. If it's a command pilot, it would be nice to link generically rather than having command pilots that link, which is what I saw a lot, which is like command pilots that link with only specific units. I think that's kind of suspicious. Regardless, I'm rambling. It just was not a super consistent format. I feel like we played just 3 rounds. I went against Wing Gundam all 3 times. 2 times they had all the pieces. They linked every other turn, and they just high rolled me and destroyed my board, and I barely could put up a fight. And then one of the other times they just bricked and they didn't see any of their links, and I just rolled them even though they had a ton of cards in hand. And so obviously once we get actual like proper structured games going, I'll probably feel better about it. But yeah. So first up, we've got the Heroic Beginnings ST1. They can make sense to start there. This one has the Earth Federation as well as the Witch from Mercury cards. So a bit of the new with the old type thing. So first things first, those of you who know have already realized we didn't get any god decks as they are called. Essentially, each starter deck comes with the starter deck. It comes with a bonus pack and a learn to play sheet that also has the playmat structure on it. So it's got, I don't know why mine's being. So it's got all the details of the learn to play, the phases, all that fun stuff. And on the other side, it shows you what a field is, the base, shields, resources, battle area, deck, and trash. And then we have this bonus pack. So the bonus pack comes with one of any of the 16 types of cards that come in the starter deck that it came with. And this is a higher rarity, I'm not going to peek, higher rarity textured foil for every single card, and for the LRs, which are the SRs for those Digimon players, it uh, comes as an alt. It's just really the same art, just a different background. So let's see what we've got here. Oh, bam! Cool. We have the Thoroughly Damaged. Thoroughly Damaged was actually pretty good in the beta, but it doesn't seem to be as good in Constructed because people are just going to be getting higher HP Gundam units, and so, you know, one damage to something that's only rested and only one in HP, not as good as having something in attack, for example, but still a pretty nice card to have regardless. And so, other than that, aside from that, each deck is going to come with 4 LRs. This is again very similar to Digimon, where starter decks come with 4 SRs. These are going to be at 2 of, and most of the other cards are going to be 4 and 3 ofs, which is kind of nice. But obviously, you'll probably want the LRs, and then you'll, as playsets, so you'll probably pick up an extra starter deck. Plus, you get a chance to get every single card in this uh, texture foil rather than only some cards. So a lot of these cards are going to be familiar to you if you played in the beta. Um, I did as well. They have the same set number. If you know, this is already one of the LRs in there, which is the Gundam RX-78-2. It has Repair 2, which means at the end of your turn, it recovers that many HP, so 2 in this case. And then during pair, all your units get AP plus 1 during your turn. So pretty strong in buffing everything on your side, and it links with Amuro Ray. Obviously, we get 2 of those. And then we get Gundam Aerial, permit score 6. So this is not from the beta. This is a new card in that term. Has 1 paired. Choose 1 enemy unit that is level 5 or lower. It gets minus 3 AP during this turn. So obviously the idea is you pick something that's 5 or lower and you swing over it, and it's a favorable attack. Level 5 for cost, and links with Soletta Mercury. Obviously 2 of those as well. And then we get into the rest of the deck. So we have the Gundam MA form. This is the one paired with a base team white base team pilot. You draw 1. Actually, kind of a strong effect because draw is pretty powerful in the Gundam card game and kind of sparse. Uh, so this is really good. And so you see this is one paired, same as the Gundam Aerial versus the Gundam, which is says during pair. So as long as it is paired during your turn, everything gets +1/+1, pretty strong. You get 4 of that Gundam MA form, pretty important for your Amuro links. You get Gun Cannon, just a vanilla, another card that's new from the that's new since the beta. We get 4 of those. It's just a level 3, 2 cost, 2/4. It links with Kai Shiden, which is the other command pilot that we had is Kai. Um, I think that's pretty good, especially for that stat line, because Kai gives you a +1 to the to your attack power. So at level 3, if you're a bit slow, you can put out a 3/4, swing immediately, remove the EX base. I think that's kind of strong. Then you have the gun tank. It links with Hayato Kobayashi, which is the thoroughly damaged. And this is also a new card. On deploy, you rest a unit with 2 or less HP. Not bad, but I think it's the part that's bad here is that it's a 2/3. It links with a 0/1, and it's a level 3/2 cost. Like if it was a level 2/2 cost, that'd be at least a little better. But yeah. Then we have the GM, which is our great 1 cost at 3. It's just a 2/2. Kind of an awkward stat line, but it's all right. Then we move over to the Academy with the Gundam Aerial bid-on form. Links with Soletta. It's a level 4 2 cost, so kind of efficient there, and it's a 3/4. We have our Demi Trainers, which are just our level 1 1 cost blockers. Straightforward. We have Zawart, which is our level 2 2 cost blockers. It also has the added effect this unit can't choose the enemy player as its attack target. So if you're swinging, you can only swing at uh, units. Can't swing at the opponent. I think that's just because they made it a 3 attack. Personally, I would rather it just be a 2 attack and then it can swing. I don't know. Seems kind of odd. You have 4 of the Amore, obviously pretty important for the white base team Earth Federation archetype. 1 paired, you choose 1 enemy unit with 5 or less HP and rest it. Not the best thing ever, but pretty decent if your opponent has blockers. Pretty decent if you need to clear the board, especially because the Gundam itself has repair. So then you don't lose your Gundam. You have higher health, and it's a +2/+1, so pretty powerful pilot. Then we have the Soletta Mercury at 4. On attack, once per turn, choose one of your resources, set it to active, so she's effectively a free pair, and if you link, that's even better. And she's a +1/+2, so it gives them a beefier back side for blocking and staying on the board for longer. And then we have our Thoroughly Damaged, 3 of, and our Kai's Resolve is what I was talking about, the Kai Shiden. He, on main, a friendly unit recovers 3, and it's a +1 AP, level 3, 1 cost. And then new, we have the Burst main action, level 3, 1 cost. Choose 1 enemy unit, gets -3 AP during this turn, so you can save one of your things by just by using this in response to them attacking over your stuff. And then finally, we have the bases. We have 3 white base, arguably the best base printed. And then the assists Asticacia. Oh my god, I love that. I hate that name, but I love it. Anyway, School of Technology, Earth House, deploy the card, and then activate main. You can rest it. All friendly link units get +1 AP. The fact that it's link units makes it kind of worse, in my opinion. I would have preferred if it just said one thing. It's +1 AP. I would rather have that just so that it's generic. You can use it early game, especially because it's a level 2 base. Not terrible base, other than that. So aside from that, obviously you get your 10 resources, so you can play the game. You get an EX base, so you can play the game, and an EX resource in case you're second, so you can play the game. And then the thing I do love is that they give you tokens. So the only thing in here in this deck that creates a token is this white base, which I realize I went through pretty quickly. The white base says activate main. You can tap 2, so use 2 resources to deploy a Gundam 3/3 white base team unit token if you have no units in play. If you have 1 unit in play, you deploy a gun cannon 2/2, and then if you have 2 or more units in play, you deploy a 1/1 gun tack. These are the only tokens this deck creates, and they give you 2 of each of those tokens, so I think that's pretty good. And then the last thing you get in this deck is this, which is like a bunch of counters. I think it's great that they give you this. You have a +1 AP and -3 AP. The other side is the same thing, and then just a generic one, and then just 1s and 2s you can use for damage. So 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s you can use for damage. And then down here, these are going to be specific to the deck, actually, same as the tokens, because you have stuff like Astasia's School of Technology that gives all your link units +1. You have your Gundam that gets all your units +1. And so they give you a +1 AP. And then because you have the unforeseen incident, 1 enemy unit gets -3 AP during this turn. They also give you a -3 AP counter. I think this is pretty cool inclusion. I like it a lot. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so next up we have the Wings of Advance, STO2. Let's see if we get the God deck here. It would be really sick because this is the main reason why I want to play this game. Wings of Gundam was my favorite, uh, well, first, so therefore it's my favorite show growing up, and I find it really hilarious on the rewatch as long as you don't take it too seriously. Let's see what we got. Just the regular. That's all right. I'll accept that. Let's get the pack out of here, and the learn to play and all that is going to be the same, so I'm not going to go over that again. But yeah, so the reason I got these two is because I'm looking to build a green-blue deck, and I don't know why it's being difficult. Yeah, I'm looking to build a green-blue deck. Wings of Gundam is going to be what I'm going to be building basically all my decks around. And the Earth Federation stuff I think is a good uh, addition. It has some repair. It gives you some aggro if you don't want to do odd stuff, but I'm probably going to just mess around. Actually, before that, let's open up the bonus pack real quick. I'll open it backwards, actually. So let's see what we get here. Siege Ploy. So this is the burst main action of this deck. Every deck has one. This one says choose one enemy unit with 5 or less HP and rest it. It's basically just used to try to like save your life or save some aggro. And if you're ever curious where to tell what these textured foil ones are, it's up here uh, after the set number. You have the rarity, and in this case it's a common, and then plus means that this is the uh, textured hollow one. So we have the Wing Gundam, pretty strong card. It has Breach 5, which means when when it attacks and destroys a unit, it deals that much damage to the shield area. So if you have a base, it deals 5 damage to that base. If you don't have a base, it just hits, cracks a shield, basically piercing for this deck. It also says it may choose an active enemy unit that is level 4 or lower as its attack target. So you just really make sure they have nothing left on their board and you destroy all their units, and at the same time you're whittling down their base to win. That's the whole point of Breach. You get 2 copies of that. Obviously, you get Toggies as the other LR. Obviously, we have the Operation Meteor, and on the other hand, we have Oz uh, with Zex Marquis. This is just a super aggro card. 5/4, 4/4. Activate main once per turn. You rest you 4 resources. Set the unit as active. So you just swing, and then you set it as active, and so you can swing again. Pretty good if you ask me. Obviously, we get 2 of these as well. They're just a little stuck here. There we go. 2 of these. You get Wing Gundam Bird Mode. This is how they're dealing with ramp. Not the only way they're dealing with ramp, but one of the ways, which is on deploy, it just places an EX resource. And the fact that EX resource also count for level means you deploy this for 3, at level 3, you get an EX resource, so now you're level 4, and then you can crack the EX resource to to play the pilot, hero, and then link hit, and you can swing immediately, and hero will make it, I believe, a 5/4 because it's a link unit. Pretty powerful, and you get 4 of these. They did actually a pretty cool thing, in my opinion, with all these starter decks. They have across the starter decks, generally speaking, the same ratios. So, like I said, 2 burst main actions. They give you a play set of things that your 4 of pilot can play can link with, and then a 2 of something your 4 of pilot can link with. So we'll see something else that the Zex can link with as well. And then you get an alternative, or like depending, this is more like deck depending. Usually you get some other pilots, some other things that they can link with that are separate. And you'll see here you also get 1/1 blockers. You'll also get as in like level 1 cost blocker. You also get level 2 cost blockers. There might be some differences in effect, but generally be the same. And you will get at least 1 command pilot. I think 2 in every deck. So next we have the Gundam Heavy Arms, 4 of those. It says during your turn, when this unit destroys an enemy unit with battle damage, you deal 1 damage to all enemy units that are level 3 or lower. So it could be great for wiping out all the blockers from an opponent's field. Uh, Not bad, but a level 5 3 cost. It's alright. 3 4. It's alright. Decent, not terrible. Then we have Gundam Sandrock. So this links with Quatre. Uh, is just a vanilla level 4 2 cost, 4 3 power and HP. You have Maganak, which is just a 2 2 3 2 vanilla, also pretty good. You have the Leo, so this links with Ostrate. This is the one that's gonna. This is the other playset that links with um, the Zex that I mentioned earlier. In this case, it's just a 2 2 with 2 power and HP. So it's good for the early game to really knock stuff out. This is what I was talking about with the level 2 cost blocker. In this case, it's a 2-1 in its stat line, a 1-1 blocker, 1-1 stat line, and then you have 4 of the main pilots of each of the main pilots. So for hero, which says unit gets +1 AP. If it's a link unit, sorry, it gets +1 AP and +1 HP. So he's effectively a +3/+2. Very aggressive. Makes sense. And then you have Zex, which says during your turn, when it destroys an enemy unit with battle damage, you draw 1. So a great draw engine. Fortunately, he's a level 5, so it might be a bit difficult to get into. And then he's a +2/+1. Then we have Troa Barton with simultaneous fire. So you can give one of your units breach 3 during this turn, and he's just a +1/+1. +1/+1 is nice, better than +1/+0 or +0/+1 that we saw in the other deck. The main is okay, nothing really to write home about. The fact that it's not an action, it means you can't use it as a combat trick. I don't know, it's not amazing, but it's okay. And then we have Peaceful Timber with Quatre. I kind of like this. The only issue I have with this is it says your shield area can receive damage from enemies that are level 4 or lower, which means that your opponent's boss monsters can still kind of steamroll you. He's a +1/+1 pilot. It's not the worst thing you could save your life, but I think it could have been better. Um, Especially because I don't really like Sandrock that much. We have the Siege Ploy. Like I mentioned, choose one enemy unit 5 or less and rest it to try to save yourself. We have Saint Gabrielle Institute with that amazing episode 1 moment of I'll kill you. Great moment. If you haven't seen Gundam Wing, I recommend at least watching episode 1. It is kind of hilarious. On deploy, like all other bases, you add one of your shields to your hand, and then you look at the top 2 cards of your deck. You return 1 to the top, 1 to the bottom. So it's like kind of a scry. It doesn't really draw you cards. I mean, it's gonna draw you a card from your shield, but it doesn't really net positive, but just kind of fixes their next draws. I don't really like it if I'm gonna be honest. And then you have Corsica base, which on deploy adds a shield, and then if it's your turn, you deploy a Tall Geese AP4 HP2 unit. If it's your turn and a card with Corsica base in its name is in your trash, you deploy 2 Leo AP1 HP1 units instead. So you don't get all 3, you get one or the other. So the first time you play this, if it's your turn, you get a 4/2, and then if you play any others in your turn in the future, you get 2 1/1s. It's not amazing. It sucks that it just says only if it's your turn. It's only on deploy, so it's not repeatable, but I still think it's better than the St. Gabriel Institute, so not terrible. We have 10 resources, the EX space and the EX resource, and then those tokens that we just talked about. So we have 3 Leos and 3 Tall Geese, I guess because they want to give us always 6 uh, tokens for all the decks so that the value is the same. They give you 3/3 because these are the only tokens uh, that are created in this deck. And then in this case, the AP HP is +1/+1. The only thing that really pumps your AP and HP are the hero when linked. So honestly, not the most important things to note, but still, damage and then AP HP. Still cool that they make it unique for each deck. Hope you enjoyed this video and let me know which starter decks you guys have gotten, which ones you're interested in. And I'll be making a video talking about all of my deck lists and what I'll be looking to build for the upcoming set as well. So look forward to that. Until then, happy building.